What's up everyone, and today I'm bringing a deck profile on my Adamancipators. Now, Adamancipator is a pretty cool deck. Kind of like the last video I made, or it's probably not coming out in that order, but the last deck profile I made before this one was the Prank Kids, and like Prank Kids, there's a banned card that I really want back. But Adamancipator has a lot of cool things it can do, and I found a couple other cards that could make it even better. So make sure to like, subscribe, and let's get right into it. First off, I run 3 Adamancipator Researcher, 3 Seeker, and 3 Analyzer. You play all 3 of the all 3 of the tuner Adamancipator monsters. So the cool thing with the Adamancipators is that you can reveal the top 5 cards from your deck and special summon 1 rock monster, 1 level 4 lower rock monster, non-tuner. So with this deck you want to run a lot of rocks. And both Analyzer, actually all of them can special summon themselves. Research, if you control a rock, you can special summon it from the hand. Seeker, if you control Adamancipator, you can special summon it from the hand. And if your opponent controls a monster, you can summon Analyzer from the hand. You want to kind of use all these on turn 1, because these are like pretty much the only tuners you run. And being able to, it's a little bit of a gamble deck, because if you whiff off the Adamancipators, it does get a little bit rough, but there are still things you can do. I run 3 copies of Kawakimaru Supplier. If a face-up rock monster you control is sent to the graveyard, you can spell summon this card from your hand, and if this card is spell summoned, you can add from your deck to your hand 1 Iron Core of Kawakimaru or 1 card that mentions Iron Core of Kawakimaru except Supplier. So this is really good. Let's say you summon Analyzer, reveal, I don't know, one of these, or let's just say random. Let's say Guardian. You can synchro those 2 away, and then you can just special summon the Supplier from your hand. And then when it's summoned from the hand, you can add a Kawakimaru Guardian from your deck to your hand. Which is really cool, because if you end up revealing a Tokidoki, then you can use the effect of Tokidoki to send the Guardian to summon a Guardian from the deck, or let's say you didn't have Analyzer, you can summon Analyzer instead. Then you can use the effect of Tokidoki to send the Guardian to summon a Guardian from the deck, or let's say you didn't have Analyzer, you can summon Analyzer instead. Of course, I run the 3 Guardian. You can attribute it to negate the activation of an effect monster and destroy that monster. So the cool thing with Guardian is it's a negate, which is pretty cool. Though most oftentimes it's not going to be left on your board. You kind of just want it to be a level 4 rock, but it's also a good way to sort of protect your deck. Let's say you turn 1, or at the very beginning you summon Guardian, then if your opponent tries to hand trap you, Guardian can sort of like be your counter for it. Also run 3 copies of Dokidoki. Dokidoki can discard a rock monster to special summon from 1 rock from your deck that has the same attribute and level as that monster. Considering they're pretty much all earth, like there's only 4 non-earth, which those ones are water. But let's say you have Guardians or extra copies of the Adamancipator tutors in hand, you can just send them to grab a different copy, which is really cool. So these are, I guess, the main ones you'd want to summon off of the Adamancipators. Next, I run not really a new card, but a card that I didn't have in my last build, which is the Cardatherin, the Hidden Gem of Seafronts. No clue if I even pronounced that correctly. It's really cool. So basically you can discard it, and then you get the an extra summon of an earth or water monster, and if it's in your graveyard and you control a water and earth monster, you can special summon it from the grave. Which is really cool because you do run waters. The secondary effect is going to come up sometimes, because we do run Dragite, obviously, and Dragite is water. So let's say one of the Adamancipator we revealed was the Water Stone, then we can make Dragite. If we reveal the Water Stone, we're going to make Dragite. Otherwise, we're going to make something else. And considering this gives you an extra summon, like say you got a Dokidoki stuck in your hand or a Guardian, it's just going to be like a way to basically extend, which is really, really nice. I run the 1 Adamancipator Crystal Dragite. It's the only crystal you run. Like, the crystals themselves aren't really good, but you want this one because of it being a water. So you want it for the Risen Dragite. Also run 1 Gigantes. Gigantes, you can banish a earth monster from your graveyard to special summon this. That's really nice. Now, unfortunately, it cannot be normal summoned or set. So you cannot summon it off of the Adamancipators, which is really unfortunate, but this does play a different role, which is still nice. And that is the fact that it banishes one. Because one thing we are playing in this deck is the Thunder Dragon Colossus. And Gigantes sort of helps get you into that. But we have also run another card that helps even more than Gigantes, but Gigantes still has lots of utility, considering it can summon itself to the hand. So let's say you open it, then you can just use it for a rank 4 to get into maybe like the Nemesis cards, or not really, the Infernal Flame Banshee, that's what it was, the rank 4. Or you can use it for Gallant Granite, or several other ways. Reveal a card that a lot of people don't play on Adamancipators, but I play 3 Redox. Redox is really cool. It has 2 effects. The secondary effect is the one to banish or discard itself and one earth monster to special summon a monster in the graveyard. That effect's really nice, having that monster reborn effect. But what you really want it for is for the first effect, which if it's in your hand or graveyard, banish a total of 2 earth and or dragon type monsters from hand, special summon it. And you mainly, the reason you want that because it banishes specifically 2, so that gets you the requirements for the Nemesis cards, which I do run the Flag and the Corridor. So what you do with the Nemesis cards and the Infernal Flame Banshee, if you don't know, basically you make Banshee, which is a rank 4, use the effect to add Flag. Flag can target a banished monster, shuffle it back into the deck to special itself, and then it can search the Corridor, which can do the same thing to banish and special summon itself. And since Corridor is a Thunder monster and its effect activates in the hand, you can tribute it for Thunder Dragon Colossus. So basically Redox turns your deck into a deck that plays Thunder Dragon Colossus. And Colossus is obviously really good. You know, it's a floodgate monster. Your opponent cannot add cards. So this is just going to slow down any opponent. And not to mention, on top of the Thunder Dragon Colossus, you're going to have so many other forms of disruption. You might have a Dragite, or another card I run here is the Draco Future. You might have an SP Little Knight. So there's a lot of things you're going to have in addition to just that Colossus. But Colossus is definitely going to really hurt your opponent quite a bit. Yes, we had a high monster count, but considering the Adamancipator's effects, you want to have at least a good number of rock monsters to trigger off of the Adamancipator's effects. For hand traps, I don't run many. I just run the 3 Ash as well as the 3 Nibiru. While you can't add Nibiru through the effect of the tuner Adamancipators, but as far as like Leonite and Raptite, when they excavate, they don't have any level or tuner restrictions on them like the tuners do. As for spells, we run 6, and that's it. I run 2 copies of Adamancipator Signs. Signs is a monster reborn for Adamancipators, and if you reborn an Adamancipator card, Adamancipator monster specifically, you take 1 level 4 lower rock monster from your deck and place it on top of the deck. So next time you use an Adamancipator monster's effects, you're going to reveal basically what you want to reveal. Next, I run 3 copies of Small World. Now the main reason I run Small World is to basically get me into Redox. Because if we don't have Redox, then making Thunder Dragon Colossus is going to be a much worse. As in we basically really can't summon it. Unless we happen to draw a Corridor and have a way to get to Gigantes. Which is possible, but considering both Gigantes and Corridors are one of, that's not really too likely. But if we end up having that route and we have Redox, then Redox can just summon a monster from grave. Or for example, let's say we're stuck with a rock that's in our hand but not really the best rock. Let's say we open 2 Analyzer. we could turn maybe that analyzer into maybe a researcher or a seeker. And lastly, Call by the Grave, because you don't want to get hand trapped. Moving on to the extra deck. I played 2 copies of Raptite. Raptite has the same effect as the Adamancipator tuners to excavate the top 5 and special summon a rock type, but it does not have the tuner or level 4 lower restriction like the Adamancipator tuners. Also run Leonite. Leonite, same thing as Raptite, in that instead of special summoning it, it adds. Now they both have secondary effects which you will not use because they're required to have a rock monster with a certain attribute in the graveyard, because there is a wind and fire Adamancipator crystal. But we don't play them because they're not really that great. Dragite's really the only one we play because that one allows you to draw a card. Speaking of Dragite, we have the Adamancipator Risen Dragite. Now, Dragite is pretty cool. Basically, you can excavate the top 5 cards, and if you do, destroy that many cards equal to the number of rock monsters you reveal. So this is going to be mainly a going second, but if you end up revealing the Dragite and you get the Crystal Dragite into the graveyard, then you can make it turn 1, because then it becomes a spell trap negation. Next, I play Omega, as well as Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. If I don't have the Water Crystal engrave, I'm not going to make Dragite. So these basically become the backup options for it. Both Omega and Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon are pretty good. It really depends on like what you have on the field. Like, let's say if you're making a level 8 Synchro with let's say Guardian and Analyzer, you're going to go for the Omega. But if you're making it with let's say Raptite and Seeker, then you're going to go for like Crystal Wing. Onto the Synchro, or onto the XYZs, I play 2 Gallant Granite. Granite, either you can search your deck for a rock monster, or spell summon a rock monster from your hand in face down defense position. You're pretty much never really going to use the secondary effect. It's pretty much always the first effect to add a rock monster. So you can add one of your Adamancipator cards, you can add the Gigantes. You got a lot of utility with it. Next, I play the Infernal Flame Banshee, which is part of the Colossus play. I also play Utopic Future and Draco Future, because I play this because most turns, if I have the Thunder Dragon Colossus play, or basically if I have the Redox, most of the times I'm going to make Granite, and then after that I'll make the Banshee, and I can basically just from that make the Utopic Future, or Utopic Draco Future, which gives you an extra negate. Also play the one Thunder Dragon Colossus. Thunder Dragon Colossus is just really powerful, and I'm so glad this card got him banned. Like, I know a lot of people complain about it, but there are worse things than Thunder Dragon Colossus. Well, Thunder Dragon Colossus is still very powerful, don't get me wrong. There are ways to out it. As far as Link monsters, nothing I'd say really too impressive. Basically just like an SP Low Knight, as well as an Asu. I'd say the Asu, or Asa, is like probably the most changeable card. Like if you want to play something like IP, or maybe another copy of one of your other cards, you can probably switch that card out. And also run 1 copy of Axis Co-Talker. That's it for my Adamancipator deck profile. Let me know, what do you think of Adamancipators? Do you think Block Dragon needs to be unbanned? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Bye.